There is a very big misconception about Errol Spence Jr. that's floating around out there in the boxing community. Y'all stay tuned. Errol Spence Jr. seems to be a pretty hot topic in the boxing community right now. We know he got an upcoming fight with Mikey Garcia, and there's a lot of conversations that's, going on around right now in the boxing community, and I want to discuss it today. What's going on, fight fans, boxing family? This your boy Get a Mic with Jim Boxing. Thank you guys for coming back to the channel, clicking in. Make sure you do me a favor, hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if you're new, and that bell icon, that way you can get notified as soon as I drop the video. You can get it. Now, I appreciate you guys, like I said once before, for coming on in. Let's get started. You know why we're here. There's a lot of misconceptions going on in the boxing community about Errol Spence Jr. There's a lot of debates going on back and forth with his abilities, his weaknesses, some things that people see that's wrong, his head movement. It's a lot of things out there that's being said about Errol Spence Jr. In the wake of this fight that's coming up in March 16th. And one of the things I want to talk about is the thing that a lot of people say as far as Errol Spence not being able to box, or him not having the ability to box. He's not an elite boxer. They say things like his boxing ability is just unproven, and one of the big things is because of the head movement. Now, I think one of the big misconceptions is that he's not an elite boxer, and I think that's a misconception. I think that's something I don't really know where people get that from. Okay, I don't know what they're watching, and I don't know what fights they're watching that's making them say that he doesn't know how to box. Like, I don't understand how you can be an undefeated professional for 20 something fights, 23 fights, pretty much 21 knockouts, be a Olympian, and also have a very good amateur background. And I don't see how you can do that without knowing how to box. Okay, so to me that makes no sense. I'm not quite sure where people's getting that from. And he's also stated in the past that the reason, as far as the head movement goes, is that he doesn't move his head that much because he says he doesn't feel the need to do so. Okay, and I watch a lot of his fights, and I break down a lot of film, and I don't really see that. I can understand why people would say it's necessary, but I haven't really seen it where he needed to do it in the fight. Like, I didn't see it. A lot of times his fundamentals and the way he comes forward and the way he fights, his guard, and the way he leads with the right jab, I think a lot of times he doesn't necessarily need to be moving his head because he's not really he doesn't really fit that slick boxer kind of fighting style. Like, he doesn't have that slick boxer where he's trying to consistently make you miss. Is why you don't a lot of times see his head moving back and forth and stuff like that, because when Spence fights, he basically has that fundamental foot stance to where he has his feet are planted in a way where his high guard and the way that he's like his stance is not really ideal for people to get punches through. Okay, and also he's always in the ability to and always in a position to throw, so he's not necessarily needing to evade punches because he's always the one dishing them out for the most part. Now, that's what I see. He usually uses his right hand to get the range off. He's usually throwing that jab, and he'll throw the jab to set up the right hand a lot. And as far as the head movement goes, I mean, I can understand why people would say that, but I haven't really seen him not moving his head be that big of an issue in the fight. Okay, now let's look at a few of his fights just to see as far as the misconception about him not being able to box. Okay, when he fought Phil Greco, okay, it was a pretty he made quick work of that dude. But let's look at the fight a little bit. Phil Greco was, trying to be the come forward fighter in that fight for a little while. He was coming forward. He was trying to, press the action a little bit. Now, this shows that Errol Spence can fight off the back foot because he was backing up and he was able to throw combinations after he was going back. Like, you'll see Errol Spence starts going back, and then he'll do the jab. He'll throw the right, left, and get the opponent up off of him, and then he'll step into like a double body shot kind of thing, and you'll see him do that. Also, when he was fighting against Chris Van Herden started to try and use lateral movement a few times. I seen in that fight, he started to try and use a little bit of lateral movement. And when fighters do that against Errol Spence, when they try to use lateral movement and they try to move around and make it tough on him, it seems to me like his athleticism and his fundamentals, it makes it where it's easier for him to get to the opponent when they're using lateral movement. Like, he seems to know how to close the distance extremely well against fighters that move around. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's two different aspects of his game that shows me that he knows how to box. He can fight off the back foot. You know, he does take a few punches when he's going back, but it seems like to me at 147 pounds, when he's getting into you know, like fighting in the close quarters, when he's fighting in the phone booth, it seems like that's where I see the most of his positive work get done. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the fighter starts pressing him up against the ropes, you know, it just turns into a fight then, and that's when you start seeing people get hit to the body. So we seen him fight off the back foot. We seen him chase down lateral movement fighters and hurt them to the body, go upstairs, use that jab. Like, for instance, when he fought Lamont Peterson, at first I thought that game plan was not a good idea for Lamont Peterson to just sit there and try to go blow for blow with him. But now when I get to thinking about it, if he would have started trying to use lateral movement and run around and box from the outside, I think he would have got chased down and got hurt for real. You know what I'm saying? I remember me and my brother was talking about that, and I was trying to explain, like, yo, I don't think that was a good idea from Lamont Peterson to be trying to go blow for blow with Errol Spence Jr. And then I see a guy like what's his name, when he fought Chris Algieri. Chris Algieri uses great lateral movement. He's a good boxer, but you see how that turned out. It seems like the fighters that use lateral movement against Errol Spence Jr., they end up getting hurt worse than the people that go blow for blow with him. Yeah, man. So I don't really know too much about the misconception that he can't box. I just think he doesn't box the way most pure boxing fans you know, like you know, that's not their style that they like for the most part. So that's just, I don't know, that's just my thoughts, man. I see I don't know where people's getting that from besides the head movement that Errol Spence Jr. can't box, but I feel like the dude he has a couple different dimensions to his game. And I think what's going to end up happening is the more he fights, he's gonna start to shut a lot of people up. Because I mean, what can you do when a fighter just keeps winning? Like, you keep trying to find faults in his game, but everything he's doing is getting him to win. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what's going to end up happening. And then the next complaint is going to be, oh, he's a weight bully. He's bullying the smaller fighters. He needs to move up. And I think pretty much that's what's going to end up happening. Like, for instance, after this Mikey Garcia fight, which I anticipate it'll be an extremely good fight. I think this is going to be an entertaining matchup. But I think if Errol Spence goes in here and walks the dog on Mikey Garcia and makes him look bad, you know, they're going to call him a weight bully. They're going to say he's bullying smaller fighters. When we know before this fight happens, everybody's saying that Errol Spence Jr. is going to get outboxed and exposed. Now, what's going to happen after this fight when Errol Spence chases him down and punishes him, beats him down, and then next thing you're going to say is they say, oh, he needs to move up to 154 pounds. So it seems to me that a lot of the people that's saying that Errol Spence Jr. can't box, they have alternative motives. They have an agenda that they're trying to push. They're trying to make him out to be, you know, an overhyped fighter, and he's not that good, and he's just, you know, his fanboys is hyping him up and stuff like that. But I think a lot of the hype that Errol Spence Jr. is getting from all of his fans, supporters, and so on and so forth, I think is well deserved. I really do think it's well deserved, and that's coming from a person who actually had the pleasure of actually seeing him fight live. You get, you know, when you're in the arena, you get a chance to hear the punches being thrown. You get a chance to see the sweat flying off niggas' faces. You get a chance to really get a good view of it, man. So from my personal opinion, I think Errol Spence Jr. he deserves the credit he's getting. I think you will continue to see him do well, and I think he's gonna really live up to all the hype, man. So that's just my thoughts on this video. Make sure you smash the like button, hit the subscribe and the bell icon, drop your thoughts, hate, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know how much I suck. Let me know how much my videos suck. That's fine, man. I really appreciate all my supporters, my day ones. You know who you are. Much love, peace, and blessings to all the brothers and sisters out there that watch the channel. And I'll be back with some more videos, man. So that's all I got.